All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. This is pretty interesting because I constantly hear people saying, well, you shouldn't teach your children about a specific things and let your children figure it out. Well, it's kind of contradicting to me because as a father, I believe that I have, the duty or obligation or, the fact that I'm supposed to be the father, the teacher. Now, a lot of times we go into the biblical part of the argument. And again, I'm going to talk about that here in this video as well. But a lot of people forget that. Forget the fact that you are the father or the parent, and our job is to teach them. It's kind of like set them up for the wrong or for not success because they have to figure it out. Why would they have to figure it out? Why can you not share what you have learned, your counsel, your information, and things like that? No wonder we have a society nowadays where kids are going into the deep end and so many bad things are happening. Do you know that the common factor is that there is no fathers in the house? Obviously, there's not a man that is teaching children how to be men. That's an issue. Really an issue. So when I see people saying, well, don't teach your kid about this, specifically, Christianity, don't teach them. Let them figure it out. I think to myself, like, what kind of nonsense is that? We are called upon raising our children and teaching our children things to do, right? Things, how to be a man. I'm called to be an authority in my house to teach my children how to be a man. I'm called to be a leader in my house to teach my children how to be men, right? And obviously, I got my wife as my helper. And again, she's fantastic. I'm blessed to have my wife, right? So again, I hear this nonsense all the time where people say, no, when it comes to religion, we could talk about the word religion, but when it comes to religion, let them figure it out. That is nonsense. Completely nonsense. I'm going to tell you right now, don't do that. Literally, when you do that, what you are doing essentially is allowing this place to teach your children. Now, look around. Turn the TV on. Look at, news and all that. Do you really want to let this place, this planet, teach your children how to be men? Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you, it's biblical. It's biblical that we need to teach our children. Let me come out here and says Proverbs 22:6 says, start children off on the way they should go. Start children off on the way they should go. So the Lord wants you to start your children the right way. The Lord wants you to start your children in a way they're supposed to be. The Lord wants you to educate your children, teach your children principle, biblical, things so they could start off on the right way and they could have success in life. He doesn't want you to start them up in like, you know what, Fabian, Lorenzo, Manny, you guys figure it out. But Dad, you have all this information. No, you guys figure it out. It makes no sense. How are we going to make ourselves better? Right? It should be where your children could be better than you. Their children should be better than them. We should be stepping forward, looking forward, going forward. That's why our head is facing forward. Because we want to go forward. We don't want to go back. So again, this thing right here says Proverbs 22:6 says, start your children off on the way they should go. And listen to this. Here's the promise. Here is the promise. I love God's promise. If you love God's promise, put a comment down below. It says, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. So you're starting off, according to the Bible, you're starting off the right way, the way they should go. And even when they are old, when they grow up and they become old people, they will not turn from it. That is the promise. So what is happening right here? Essentially, this is what's happening. And I'm going to share this with you guys right now. This is such a powerful statement right here in the Bible. Because if you do your job, this is saying that if you do your job as a dad, and you teach your children to love the Lord, and you teach your children biblical principles. This is what it's saying. Your children will not go away from it. And by not going away from this, by not going away from God, right? And this is the thing that I want to mention. Let me fix my microphone. They will have God by their side. And they will have access to the promises of God. They will have access to the peace of God. God is always with you, but many people don't have access to God because they fail to gain that access. Not because God is not giving them access. God is our Father in heaven. He loves us with everything, right? He is love. But we fail to gain access to that peace, access to that power, because we don't get it and we don't understand it and we don't believe it. But in here it says that if you raise your children the right way, even when they're old, they will not turn from that right way. Well, if you teach your children the right way, meaning biblical principle and meaning God, they will not turn away from that. So they're going to have love. They're going to have hope. They're going to have peace. They're going to have ways to deal with situations. So when they're old and they face issues, guess what? They're going to be able to handle those issues. And more importantly, other than that, guess what's going to happen, guys? They're going to teach their children. And we're going to build a family of believers, of Christians that teach their children, and the children teach their children, and the children teach their children, and they're going to be able to do amazing things for the glory of God. They're going to be able to spread the gospel and do things for our Father in heaven. To me, this thing where we said things like, well, don't teach your children, it's fine, let them figure it out, to me it's nonsense. Do you want to let this place, this country, the way that everything is going, you want your children to learn from them? They ain't going to go to a pretty place. Teach them the right way. And if you do, they won't walk away from it. The Bible says it. I believe it. Let me know what you think. Put comments down below. And as always, God is in control.